If you think that I stink, that's on me. I don't care. I smoke here. I smoke there. I smoke this shit everywhere. Fired up.
Man.
Welcome to another weekly edition of the Best Way to Smoke News, sponsored by none other than CaliGar. Get you that glue guard. Stop smoking spit. Just as simple as that.
Believe.
You got Big J.
Serpo Jr.
It's a team, baby.
Yes.
Detroit dispensary owner banned from selling weed after more than a dozen violations. Dang, so that's more than 12 of them. Let's see. The owner of a Detroit dispensary has been banned from owning a business license for selling weed in the state in the state after he was found to be selling cannabis to people without a medical marijuana card. Okay. Um, Anthony, gosh, Anthony C is what I'm gonna say. Anthony C and Clark Street Investment Group Inc. DBA, the ref was added to the Cannabis Regulatory Agency exclusion list, which means the parties are prohibited from participating in the industry in Michigan. Okay. According to the complaint filed by the CRA, officials that visited the dispensary found several issues in the back storage room, ranging from products that lack proper labeling, loose flour on trays, and multiple instances of the owner contaminating products while he was rolling pre-rolled joints. He also admitted to changing the strain name on some weed products from Banana Runts to Grinch Mints.
Cold motherfucker.
Man, due to the holiday season, which is against state policy. Now, real quick, just before we go, it's like in some instances, like with within our world,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I can get me Gorilla Glue, a Skywalker, and then some Banana Runs and some Grinch Mints, all which have their collective name. But if I put this together, you know what I'm saying, we all call this a salad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is no longer that name.
On the
You know what
red.
I'm saying? I may get something potent.
Mm-hmm.
So like in our little realm, in our bubble, if we just mix some stuff, it's not cross contaminating. Not in my not to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it's not cross contaminating. I don't think so either. You just making the mix that tastes good.
Yeah, but I think like the major point in this one right here though is like because they saying for medical use.
Right.
If you going with medical use, I can see like the proper placement and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? But for recreational, you know what I'm saying? It's like shit. It's going in one jar, one lung
One
anyway. So
lung. Yep. On everything. Moving on. Indiana remains on an island of prohibition as surrounding states legalize marijuana. Some hope that changes. Indianapolis, Ohio voters overwhelmingly approved a referendum to legalize recreational marijuana on November 7th, making Indiana one of the shrinking minority of states that still prohibit pot. Neighboring states, Illinois, Michigan, and now Ohio, have legalized recreational weed. Shout out. Kentucky, Indiana's other neighbor, allows medical marijuana. Supporters hope so, but opponents say not so fast. We're on an island of prohibition in Indiana, and it is somewhat embarrassing, said Keith Johnson, a veteran and proponent of legalization. Are we willing to be the last holdout in the 50 United States and deal with the embarrassment? Oh, that would be an embarrassment, though, man. Go on and push forward. Johnson is a board member for Indiana NormL, National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, and served in the U.S. Navy from 1987 to 1991. One good term. He said he suffered a brain injury that is being treated through the Veterans Administration healthcare system. Taking cannabis related products, Johnson said, has replaced most of the prescription medication he had been taking. So, you know what I mean? That's Indiana, man. Get it together. So, people like Johnson can get the proper treatment that they need. They don't have to go to neighboring states that offer the cannabis You know what I'm saying?
Word is cannabis. Word is cannabis.
Everything. Moving on.
Weed war. Dispensaries fighting to survive in state. Mm. Owosso.
Whoa.
Owosso, Michigan, I
Whoa.
believe.
So.
I hope I'm saying it right. If I said it wrong, hey, my coffee was cool. Um, in 2008, following the legalization of medical marijuana, Michigan saw an explosion in dispensaries appearing in empty storefronts across the state. Local governments worked to regulate the market while a complicated licensure process played out at the state level. But in 2018, voters approved recreational marijuana sales in the state and the market exploded. The pot industry has boomed, according to state regulators. $1.7 billion in weed sales in the first 7 months of 2023. In July, the Michigan Cannabis Regulatory Agency reported more than $270 million in sales in just that month. And they say the cannabis industry is going kind of low. But not every marijuana business is booming. Discount Buds and Corona recently shut down. Corona recently shut down. Um, in some places, there was more supply, more licenses than there needed to be, said Andrew Livingston, director of the research at Vincent Cannabis Law. This has really affected the balance sheet of cannabis companies. Oversaturation in some areas, things kind of need to get evened out. There are some businesses that are struggling. More than 100 new pot shops have thrown their doors open in the last year, but getting a license to sell the plant, some are finding is difficult. No, is different from operating a business. There is a competition in your local markets, and you know there are stores that are going to survive these challenging conditions better than others. Excuse me. Says Travis. Oh my geez. Says Travis C. You know what I'm saying? Michigan partner at Vincent Cannabis Law. You know what I'm saying? So it seemed like they out there making some cheese though. You know what I'm saying? It just some making more cheese than the others.
Yep.
And it seemed like the ones who ain't making their cheese, it's like, man, hold up.
Man.
Can I get a piece of the pie?
Man.
Share that shit.
Moving on. California Police Commission removes marijuana questions from application forms for law enforcement in response to new law. Yay! Right? California law enforcement officials are revising employment policies for police officers to remove questions about job applicants' prior marijuana use in accordance with a bill the governor signed in October. The law, which builds on provisionally enacted, previously enacted cannabis employment protections, formally takes effect on January 1st. But in advance of the effective date, the Commission on Peace Officer Standards and Training said in a memo last week that its proactivity amended application forms to adhere to the new policy. In addition to prohibiting discrimination against most workers who use cannabis off duty, the law makes it unlawful for an employer to request information from an applicant related to their prior use of cannabis, the commission said. As such, several forms have been modified to remove inquiries about candidates' prior cannabis use. The memo says the forms previously asked candidates whether they've used any illicit drugs in the past 6 months or in their lifetime, but now contains revised language that says there's no need to answer the question if the only substance was cannabis. Job applicants such, job applicants for peace officer positions in the state must still disclose information about prior convictions, including those that involve cannabis, the commission said. The California memo was released after Nevada officials adopted a proposal to amend hiring standards for police officers to allow job candidates who were previously disqualified for certain marijuana related offenses to now be eligible for law enforcement positions.
Mm.
And the reason why I said yay is it good because if it's starting there, it's a lot of other jobs and stuff like that that'll be able to be free and be able to use marijuana how they want to.
That's true. Now, and I say yay to this shit too, though, because it's like really right now you got a lot of police officers. They out there like really the like 98% of the time. It's like shit. I want to either get you a ticket or take your ass in the jail somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you allow them motherfucker to smoke a little bit of bud, they probably be like, man, fuck, that's too much shit. But I can help you with something. You know what I'm saying? Which they
Yeah.
supposed to be. They're supposed to be here to protect and to serve. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Not to like discriminate and lock up.
Hinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is kind of cool.
Moving on.
Maybe I can get a job. California marijuana recall after banned chemicals found. Damn, they always just. A California cannabis company has voluntarily recalled one of its products because it contains a pesticide that was banned in 2020. Damn, so it's certain pesticides that's like cool and legit then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Grizzly Peak Farms, an indoor farm with locations in Oakland and San Diego, alerted state regulators on December 7th that a batch of its flower product was with the strain name
Zoop.
Zoop or Zope.
Soap.
Yeah, Zope. Contains the pesticide chlorophenfer. I'm close to it. The batch was manufactured and packaged on September 15th. Before I keep going though, shout out to the Oakland and San Diego office of Grizzly Peak Farms because they called it out themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't wait till somebody came and try to like hinder
Yep.
or slander. That's good shit. You on top of that. The products associated with this particular strain package were made available to retail consumers after September 20th. California's Department of Cannabis Control spokesperson David Hefner told Newsweek. And that's actually another good thing too, though, because it's like our licensed dispensaries. That's you know what I'm saying. That's out there.
Yeah.
It's like putting out there to like certain you know what I'm saying binocular looking people that like we take care of our stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. It's like we take responsibility for it,
Yep.
and you know what I'm saying.
That's a
We
good
up on
move.
it,
Yep.
and that's another good thing with the labeling and the packaging dates.
Yep.
Because you see how they can backdate that shit and be like, bring this back.
Yep.
It is unclear how much pesticide was discovered and how many consumers may have been affected. In October 2019, the Department of Pesticide Regulation, a department within the California Environmental Protection Agency, announced that virtually all use of the pesticide chlorpyrifos, you'll look it up, you'll find it, in California was ceased following an agreement with manufacturers to withdraw their products. Now, but before I go, y'all probably want to know, it's just spelled CHLORPYRIFOS. That's what I keep, you know what I'm saying, stumbling over. The pesticide has been traditionally used for termite control and crop protection. I see. The ban went into effect in February 2020, forbidding statewide marijuana growers from possessing or using chlorpyrifos, chlorpyrifos. I'm getting closer. Products after December 31st of 2020. A scientific review panel on toxic air contaminants initially referred its findings on chlorpyrifos to the DPR in August of 2018. In August of 2018, saying that exposure is associated with developmental neurological effects that have been documented in human epidemiology epidemiology, studies, and laboratory animal studies. It was also associated with serious health effects in children.
Man, that's deep.
I got
bro.
through it. I got through
Yep.
it.
Yep.
But man, it's like all in all, shouts out to Greeley Peak Farms, you know what I'm saying, for like peeping out, you know what I'm saying, what's what and putting out that information.
Most definitely.
That's your weekly news with Serpo Jr.
Big J.
Baby, baby.